Welcome to the T-Pac Arcade. Today's game is Twinbee Da for the Nintendo Game Boy. In this 1990 shoot-'em-up from Konami, Twinbee and Winbee head to Puka Puka Island to face the challenge of Dr. Nicky, the mad scientist who created all the villains from the previous Twinbee games. It's cool to see this ties into other entries of the franchise. Plus, the gameplay here maintains classic Twinbee roots too. You fly through 5 stages of cartoony enemies and hazards, armed with your blaster for airborne attacks and bombs for ground attacks. And thankfully, your bomb reticule here locks onto the nearest target in range to save you from having to line up perfectly to land a hit. So that's all pretty straightforward. But of course, we have the main Twinbee gimmick here too. Bells. These can be juggled in the air with your blaster, changing form as they're hit to supply you with upgrades. Just don't blast them too many times, or they'll change into an enemy that charges at you. Regular bells give you bonus points, the dark bell is a speed boost, the white bell gives you a double shot, the bullseye bell creates shadow clones to add to your firepower, and the swirly bell activates a shield that takes several hits for you. Without the shield, getting hit head-on is an instant death, and getting hit from the side takes out your bombing arm. But fear not, if you lose both arms, a little medical box will show up to restore them with a good ol' wee-woo, provided you actually catch the box before it exits the screen. Aside from bells, you can also collect items from blown-up ground enemies. Mostly fruits for point bonuses, but you can also find screen-clearing stars, milk bottles that give you an extra life, and candy. First, the candy gives you a spread shot, then collecting another one activates a ping-ponging baseball that damages anything it touches while bouncing around the borders of the playfield. It's honestly super distracting, but also super helpful, so I can't really complain. And some of the later stages really benefit from the extra attack power as enemies get more aggressive. Level 1 is a scenic country shoreline, where land masses rise and fall from the water, and volcanoes just sorta sit there all inactive, which is super weird for a video game. Anyway, you blast cute cartoony aircraft, bomb pine cones, and at the end, face off against a spiky kissy face sun thing. No smooching, please. I don't want cooties, or sunburn. Level 2 sends you up a river while you bomb grumpy stone heads and dodge what look like flying sporks, and also what are unmistakably flying knives, which is genuinely unsettling for how out of place it is in an otherwise adorably G-rated game. In any case, the boss fight pits you against a robot head that emerges from a waterfall to attack you with laser pods. Level 3 is the obligatory underwater stage, where bells appear from bubbles and currents push you back and forth in their streams. Here, you fight your way through manta rays and octopi and starfish and stuff, until a huge robo-turtle shows up to firebomb you with cascades of its own turtle eggs. Now, that's just inhumane. Level 4 is a cloud kingdom, full of bullet-sprouting beanstalks, enemies that like to spastically jump all over the place, and a big propeller-powered love bug who attacks you with hearts and spears. Stop winking at me. You're worse than the kissy face sun, and you're sending mixed signals considering you're also trying to kill me. Level 5 is a mashup of all the other locales, but with the added hazards of floating island barriers and insect swarms. It culminates in a lengthy boss battle against several spacecraft who swirl around and shoot in all sorts of different attack patterns. And finally, you reach Puka Puka Island to take on Dr. Nicky's most sinister creation, Cyber Popo, aka a chunky mechanical chicken with a spring coil neck for the sole purpose of pecking you to oblivion. But to be honest, as long as you're properly powered up, our pecking poultry foe isn't much of a real threat. See, Twinbee Da is a really forgiving game. After playing through it just once with save states to get the hang of things, I was able to tear through it legit without losing more than 1 or 2 lives, which is my favorite part of this game. It's short, it's low stress, and it's adorable, because in true Twinbee fashion, the graphics here are nothing short of delightful, even with the limited resolution of the Game Boy. True, I couldn't quite distinguish what all the enemies were, but the charm remains nonetheless. Plus, the Game Boy sound chip pairs really well with the audio here. I especially love the bouncy bass lines in the background chiptunes. The most novel aspect of Twinbee Da is the ability to recover your previous power-ups after dying if you catch the ghost of your lost life before it flies off screen. And it's also worth noting that this particular Twinbee game offers a level select for the first 4 stages, plus adjustable rapid-fire settings. Not sure why you'd want anything less than the fastest blaster, but more options is never a bad thing. Overall, Twinbee Da doesn't quite have enough of its own personality to be a franchise favorite for me, but considering how well it executes, well, everything I love about Q-'em-ups, it sure does come close. Now excuse me while I fly off into the clouds to block out the kissy face sun and hide from cyborg chickens.